covering all the news from every dark corner of the universe. SliceofSciFi.com.
Hey, welcome everyone to another Slice of Sci-Fi. I'm Michael Armenengay.
I'm Sam Roberts.
I'm Ben Raggington.
You?
I'm Tim Adamek.
And I guess we'll do me.
Okay.
Megan's here.
Hey, Megan.
Hi, Noah Richmond.
Yes, indeed. And we even have Keith hiding back in the corner.
Say hi to Keith in the
Hold on
corner.
a second.
Hi, Keith.
Hey, he's in the corner. Hey, folks, we're going to do something interesting and fun and cool because it is International Tabletop Gaming Week and Day. And
It's fast approaching the actual
Tabletop Day is coming up very, very,
like a
very
freight
soon.
train coming at you, folks.
So
you better be ready.
We thought we would actually do a nice round the table here of some of our favorite games and what we love to play and why we love to play them, I guess. So who wants to roll it out?
Me, Mr. Cotter, Mr. Cotter, Mr. Cotter.
Okay, Sam's first.
So I'm excited because we actually just scheduled some time to play one of my favorites, which is Mystery at the Abbey. Does anybody know it? Yes.
I've heard of it.
It's awesome. If you like Clue at all, it's like advanced Clue. It's like a board game version of The Name of the Rose.
I was just going to ask that.
Yes. So you're monks in an abbey, and a murder has happened, and you're investigating. And there's different rooms and clues and ways to do things. And you have to ask people questions and answer, and you have to go through the different like masses. And so, but it's more advanced than Clue because you have to work through which brother might have done it, and there's different orders and different kinds of monks.
Ooh.
And so you have like a sheet, and you're eliminating, they have like traits like a tall monk with a beard, or a Franciscan, or a Jesuit. And so you can ask people questions like, do you have any fat Franciscans? And so you're eliminating,
You're looking for Friar Tuck.
right? Well, or they're skinny and bearded and you know what I mean? And so you eliminate like traits and, make guesses. And there's one card that is super fun that my sister will not play this game because of it, which is when it's in play, as you go around, if you ask any questions or answer, you have to do it in monk sing-song chant.
Oh, in Gregorian chant?
Yes!
That's fantastic.
It's
Wow.
awesome.
I've listened to enough Enigma, I can pull that off.
I'm telling you, I suck at it, but I do it anyway because, why not? Brian Brown, very good at it.
Really?
He can
Wow.
sing. He can sing.
Yeah.
So that's my current favorite because I love Clue. I love mystery games, and it's like Clue for like adults advanced. So we're scheduled to play a game here next week for Tabletop Day. We're pretty excited about it.
Outstanding.
Yeah, if I can add one thing that I also like about Mystery of the Abbey is it takes away the roll and move factor of Clue.
Yes. So it's random. It's not random, right? So it really is your skill at knowing what to ask and deducing, and it's pretty cool.
Awesomeness.
Highly recommended.
Cool. Who's up?
Well, I guess I'm next, and I feel really weird because the game I'm going to talk about is Clue.
Perfect segue.
Great minds.
I love the whole idea of the mystery. It's not as adult as Mystery at the Abbey, but there's just something kind of... I kind of like the idea of having the big board game out, throwing the dice, moving the piece. So it harkens back to my childhood. What can I say?
Yeah.
But I've always been fascinated with the game and all of its different variations. I remember even there was an edition for it done on Laserdisc.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which was really unusual because the whole idea was that depending on what kind of cards you got or what kind of questions you were asking, you would grab the remote and you would then put in a certain
I see.
Move to a certain...
yeah, exactly. And you would get a different result. Now, they did come out with a VHS version, which I owned, and it was dreadfully bad. And I keep thinking, well, the Laserdisc version seemed to be kind of popular in terms of at least how it played. I'm kind of wondering why there isn't a DVD version. I would buy that in a cold second.
Or on a website, right? You could even have, like, nowadays a tablet or something, right, that would have access to the internet that could, hit things.
But like I said, I love the different variations of Clue. And one another thing that Keith and I are crazy about is we love all things Disney. And we were at the Disney park some years ago, and
get a shot of
this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Haunted Mansion
A
Clue,
Haunted
people.
Mansion edition of Clue. And it's still in the shrink wrap because it's just me and Keith. And somehow, I mean, okay, if you're kids, yeah, Clue's fun with two people. But adults, not quite so much.
Yeah.
It gets a little dull, a little tedious. So it'd be nice to actually be able to open this up for Tabletop Day.
Ooh,
Exciting.
sounds cool. So I know Noah has a bag full of goodies.
Oh my gosh, it's a
over
great
there.
bag. I'm looking right at it.
Okay.
He's got awesome stuff down there. So
He's
what
like
do you got?
Santa over there.
I was going to
Jeez.
say that.
All right, so this is the first thing I really would want to highlight. Fantasy Flight Games put out the Battlestar Galactica, the new series Battlestar Galactica board game. And the thing that I think is particularly interesting about this one, which by the way is one of the most highly rated games on BoardGameGeek.com.
Really?
Oh, really?
It's a co-op board game, and what this is so you're all playing against the board, except that early in the game, you have cards dealt out, and you keep this card secret, but it either says that you're a human or you're a Cylon. If you're a Cylon, you're secretly working to try and sabotage the humans who are trying to make their jumps to get to Cobalt.
Now you know you're a Cylon at the beginning of the game?
Yes,
Okay.
but
But-
wait for it.
But
I'm listening.
Okay, so you have to make your jumps to get to Cobalt.
Right.
The thing is, after you get to the halfway point in the game, then a second round of cards is dealt out. So you can begin the game as a human.
Thinking you're a human when in reality you're
When
not.
in reality, you're a Cylon.
You could be one of the
Wow.
final five.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
I
so
like that.
cool. That is
So-
really cool. I want to play that game.
Yes, Battlestar Galactica. It is one where you need a little time to play it. It's not like you're going to be done with it in an hour.
Yeah.
But if you got a couple hours, it's a blast, and it definitely captures the paranoia perfectly. of the game.
That sounds fun.
So I've got to go next because I just absolutely love this. If you know what this is, you know this box. It is called Beer Money. And Beer Money is basically a variation of Lunch Money. If you have not played either one of these, this is a card-based game where you're basically dealt a series of cards and then you draw. And the thing is that you play these cards in order to try and basically beat the hell out of each other.
And take each other's money.
And take each other's money.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the most awesome, violent freaking card game that you can possibly play.
More violent than Slapjack?
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah, I think so.
It is so fun. And there's the cards and the writing on the cards are just hilarious
They're
to
funny.
go for. I mean, if you have not played this game, either variations, if you don't want the one that Beer Money gets a little darker, the Lunch Money is a little more schoolyard brawl style stuff.
Yeah.
So
There's cards like Wedgie, in Lunch Money, which
Exactly.
is one of my favorites.
Exactly, and this one here is basically the broken beer bottle,
Yeah.
and it's a little heavier.
Huh.
But either one of these variations, you get a group together and sit down and play it. You will have a blast because there's nothing more fun than this game.
And it's nice because it's pretty quick to learn, right? And so
Oh,
it's
it's
a
very
good pickup game that,
Yeah.
that people who haven't played before, aren't really into games, can easily get into and easily learn and just get going and have a good time.
Actually, this is a game for somebody that says they don't like games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this on a show last week, I think it was, that there are a lot of people that have in their head Sorry and Chutes and Ladders, and these are games and board games. There's so much more out there, folks.
Yeah.
There's so much better games out there, and this is a way to introduce them to that.
So I kind of have two.
All right.
Okay.
The first one that I got introduced to with my family over Christmas was Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, I've heard about it,
Oh.
and I've never played it, but it's on my list.
Dear God,
Yeah.
what a game. Yeah, if you are at any bit squeamish or politically correct or easily offended,
No.
anytime
go.
someone brings it out, run.
Really?
It starts out from the beginning, yeah.
Yeah,
You've played
it's
it.
not one you play with your kids.
No, and I played with my kids.
Because that's how Tim's
I was gonna
family
say,
rolls.
my kids and my mother. So, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, pretty much every card that we were dealt in the game, I cannot mention on here, just
Right.
because it's that bad.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to playing with a whole bunch of people, I tend to go more towards the strategy
Mm-hmm.
side of things, and I just can't get past Carcassonne.
That's a good one.
I absolutely love it. Incredibly simple game. You just put tiles together and figure out your points at the end. But it is just a fantastic, easy to learn game.
You know what's interesting? I play it with my brother-in-law and my sister a lot, and he has every variation,
Yeah.
like every add-on that you can buy.
Yeah,
and
the river and the castle and the
dragon. We generally don't play with the dragon. We usually play with everything else. And Brett tried, and it was too complicated and it annoyed him, and he couldn't get it, which was interesting to me because he's sort of you'd think he'd like a complicated strategy game like that. He did not, but we play it all the time. We love it. And there's a version out for the iPad too.
which I have.
Awesome.
Excellent.
We should play.
Yes, we should.
So let's have Megan give us one, and then we'll take a quick break.
Right. Oh gosh, which one do I want to do? I had two. I'm gonna go because I like card games, so because I think they're super portable. So I'm gonna go with Flux. Hand me your Flux.
Flux! I got Zombie Flux, but same difference.
I have Zombie Flux too.
Flux.
Yeah, they have regular. There we go.
Yeah, that's
they
actually an unbroken virgin box
listen, everybody.
of Flux because my last one got ripped up.
Oops.
Yeah, somebody got really
Over
unhappy
Flux?
Oh,
over Flux.
wow.
Wowzers.
Really?
There was a little alcohol involved.
Oh, all right. They don't have drunk Flux yet with the unrippable cards.
we were trying to figure out our own. So there you go.
But this one's Zombie Flux, but they have regular like Family Flux and just regular Flux, and they
It's
have
a great card game.
It is. They have Pirate Flux, which I
Star
have.
Flux.
Star Flux, which I don't have yet. My niece and I, we like to combine Zombie Flux and Pirate Flux. Those are the
Monty
two we have.
Python Flux is
Oh,
fun.
I'd play that one in a
Really?
second.
Because you have to sing Monty Python
Well,
songs at some point.
Megan actually said the
Yeah.
great thing about Flux is there's so many extra cards that you can get. There are cards for Flux that are
Yeah,
out
you can buy
there.
expansion packs.
Oh, yeah?
I want to get the Jewish ones, even though I'm not Jewish, because you can get like one of your keeper cards is the Torah, and then another one is like some candles. I'm sorry, I'm not Jewish. I don't know them all. But then at some point, like one of the challenges is you have to be able to read say and spell a Hebrew word.
Uh-oh.
And I just think that's awesome.
That's fantastic.
I think it's great.
Nice variations on it. Absolutely.
Exactly. So that's why I like Flux so much, because I didn't even mention it's ever changing.
That's why it's called Flux.
That's why it's called Flux. So
yeah.
you don't get bored. Like, you don't become complacent. Like, the rules change.
Yeah.
So it's like at some point in a game, I tend to like glaze over and I'm just like playing.
Yeah, you get in just play mode where
Yeah.
you're just going and going.
And at some point they're like, you put down a zombie card, you were supposed to groan. So take another card. I'm like, oh, crud. I forgot. So that's why I like Flux, because I never glaze over.
awesome.
There you go. All right, I think that's a good place to take a break. We'll have a message about this whole International Tabletop Day that we've been talking about here, just in case you missed it.
Hey Slicers, it's Jeffrey Willith, your executive producer of Slice of Sci-Fi, and I'm here with...
George Chase at Hypno Comics and Games in Ventura, California.
And we are here to talk about...
International Tabletop Game Day.
All around the globe, people are going to be coming together on one day, March 30th, 2013, to play games.
Yeah, board games, miniature games, card games, you name it. Anything that is unplugged, we're going to be doing it.
And we're going to be doing it right here at Hypno Comics, Ventura, California,
That's right.
on that day. And we're going to be streaming it live on Slice of Sci-Fi. We're doing this all in conjunction with our great friends over at Geek and Sundry. They've got a program they're making available to you as an official retailer.
Yeah.
And we're going to be an official podcast. What are we going to get to do here?
We're going to be demoing all sorts of fun stuff all day long. We'll be doing Pandemic, Mermies, Mice and Mystics, other stuff that you haven't tried. It's a great opportunity to come down and get some free swag, meet some game creators, but we can lock them in. And it'll be just be like a day of total social fun.
It's going to be outrageous. It's also going to be part of a bigger picture all around the globe. We're going to have more details for you in just a few days, so stay tuned.
Yes, check back here on Slice of Sci-Fi.
SliceofSciFi.com. SliceofSciFi.com.
We are that's right, 1 week away from International Tabletop Day, which is, of course, Saturday, March 30th. And that's when the entirety of the human population, and perhaps even a few nefarious aliens who have come to Earth, will be playing board games all day long. Slice of Sci-Fi is sponsoring a Tabletop Day event at Hypno Comics in Ventura, California. And that's right, you can watch the whole thing live because we'll be streaming the gameplay on sliceofscifi.tv. To help pimp the fun, we've got a new promo to show you. Watch Epic Dice Roll.
critical.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me.
I've totally had that happen to me.
Awesome. If you don't understand that in the audio form, you want to go check that out. That's funny.
Awesome and hilarious, and something that perhaps we may all be familiar with.
One or two of us.
That was definitely not me last weekend.
No. Oh, so sad.
Wow. So I wanted to touch on some of the stuff that I have here that I have not actually even been able to play yet.
Michael!
I so want to play it. Actually, this stuff was given to me, and it's just I just never got around to it. So this is my goal for this year after Tabletop Day is actually to sit down and play some of these games. One of them is this first one here, which is the 300 board game. Prepare for glory.
That can end well.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like it's a lot of fun. I mean, what? How can it not be? I mean,
so how do you win?
Yeah, I was just going to say, that can't end well.
Well, exactly. I mean, they all
everybody dies and they don't get through, or everybody.
Maybe it's the best death wins. I don't know.
I haven't even cracked this thing open.
Maybe you have to collect abs, like in the person with the most abs at the end.
I was going to say maybe it's like a strip type game.
So here's the write up on it. In a 2-player game, one player portrays
Gerard Butler.
Yeah, Gerard Butler. And his 300 Spartans, and the other player takes on the role as Xerxes and the hordes of the Persians. In a 3-4-player game, there are 2 Spartans and 2 of the Persians. Hordes. Yes.
Oh, with a D.
Hordes.
Yeah,
hordes,
big difference.
Sorry. So anyway, you basically take on the opposing sides, and you're playing the war. Yeah. Let's see, competing for the most Spartan kills. Prepare for glory as you experience the action, the excitement, and the danger of the hit movie. So it's basically a movie adaptation game, but it sounds like a lot of fun. It should be a blast.
Right? Wow.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. There is actually a game that I saw that was on Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. If I'm going down, it's a game where you're going to die. There's no chance that you're not going to die. And the question is just how many zombies do you take out before you get eaten?
Awesome. Oh, man. I thought this was going to be how many other players you take out.
So I just remembered a tiny bit of obscure game trivia, which if you guys care to look, there is a not very popular card game called Slasher that was out many, many, many years ago, which was about like slasher movies. And at the time, I was doing some occasional work with the game company who created it. And so myself and my friends were in the photo shoots for the cards. So we're all on the cards as characters, like, co-eds and teenagers, whatever, in the slasher movie. I believe I was Diane. So there were later versions after that used different artwork. But if you can find one of the old school original ones, I'm in it with a bunch of my gaming buddies from that time.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll just go ahead and point out Last Night on Earth. That's exactly what they do. It's a zombie board game.
Yes, I've played that one. It's fun.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they do. They have actors that they've hired to pose for the different characters that you play and they come up with different scenarios with zombies and these different characters.
Excellent.
Yeah, I had a cool bunch of folks at my work a few years ago that would play games during lunch, and that was one of them that was in the rotation. We had a good time.
So if you really love games and you like the new ones, Kickstarter is a place to check out.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a great place to hook up with all the independent developers. I got on, and some of the other ones, Steve Jackson did Ogre last year, which if you were gaming in the 70s, I just dated myself. Fantastic, incredibly quick strategy game. You can go through and get 30, 40 games in an afternoon. And so I picked that one up. He did this designer edition that's going to be, gigantic. I think they said the total weight of the box is going to be something around 35 pounds when they ship it.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are social media nerds, in addition to liking gaming, speaking of Steve Jackson, I highly recommend you follow Steve Jackson Games on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Because in addition to getting information like about what games are in production and what they're playtesting and stuff, they do a couple of neat things. One, they'll tweet out story hooks all the time for games that are hilarious and interesting and cool. And they will also tweet out like optional rules or occasional rules. So like if you're playing Munchkin, this rule, like all guys named Steve get to do this one thing for the next 3 rounds. And so you can just apply that to your games as you're following them on Twitter. And they're super cool and creative. They're a really great social media resource for gamers.
So I've got Zombie Town, and this is actually by Twilight Creation, not the Twilight movies. The good ones here. A lot of fun here. Basically, a lot of shambling zombies, and you're running around and you're just trying to kill as much stuff as you possibly can without getting eaten, infected, or bitten, or carried off, or captured, or whatever. A lot of fun. Very simple game. This is a really easy game for anybody to pick up and play.
Those are always the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And this is one of those no-brainer. This is a great game night game because you learn the rules very quickly and you just play, and then you can just sit around and have fun and chat with your friends and just have a great evening. So there's another one that I highly recommend is Zombie Town, especially if you're a zombie lover like I am.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I would say about Zombie Town, I personally recommend going online and downloading the corrected rules.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about that. We actually have the corrected rules in here because that is right. The original rules adjusted a little bit.
They had some kinks to work out.
Had a few things. Well,
it's all fine now, though, right?
You ended up being able to do things that you shouldn't be able to do.
Loopholes. Gamers love loopholes.
And you can exploit them very well.
I was going to say, it sounds just like the board game equivalent of like a patch.
Yeah,
it very much is.
It's very much is. Yeah.
That's awesome.
What do you got?
Well, being coming from the family that I did, I mean, we always had a lot of game night, but everything. I came from a very conservative family, so everything was very. I don't want to say puritanical necessarily, but everything was very wholesome, a lot of fun. I mean, because a lot of the games that we've seen here tonight are kind of edgy.
Yeah.
These are games that would never get played in my household. Not
Apples to Apples is great for that.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Well, the big thing for us, we started off with the traditional things like the Monopoly, but the game, the one card game that a friend of mine, this is an old game. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have heard about it, but it's a card game that I still love to play to this day, and it's Millborn.
Oh. Yes. That is a great one.
Millborn is the best.
Right? I play that with my sister and brother-in-law all the time.
I have never played this.
That is such a fun game. And
it's racing.
Because it's racing with a European flair to it.
Really?
And it's math.
And it's all mathematical.
Right.
And I could take that game. I remember one time my mom was in the hospital with minor surgery, and I just went over to visit her one day, and we just spent an entire afternoon playing that game.
You can play it over and over and over, and it does not lose its charm.
No, it doesn't.
And it's pretty, once you learn it, it's pretty simple to go.
It's one of the easiest games to learn, and you can play that for hours on end.
Standard deck of cards?
No, it's the Millborn cards, but it's
Okay.
I had forgotten about that. We took that on a Thanksgiving trip to San Diego and played it in the hotel bar like over and over and over again. It was so fun.
A bunch of friends of mine, we were all gathered in a lobby of a theater.
Yeah, it's French,
waiting
so
for
it's
a movie.
It's Mill, right?
Yeah,
for
it's
1,000.
Millborn.
Yeah, Millborn.
Mille or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a good one.
It's a great game. I mean, a whole bunch of us we were waiting in line for a movie, and we just sat down and we just started playing.
Yeah.
Everybody, crowd gathers around us, but it's just such an easy game to play, easy to learn, and it's addicting.
I bet I'm going to be playing it on my trip because I'm taking some train trips with my brother-in-law and my sister in a couple of weeks. And
since you're going to Europe, that's
You
the
have
perfect.
to.
That's the
You have
perfect game
to.
to play,
right?
Since you are going on a train, though, you have to take Ticket to Ride.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have it on the
absolutely.
iPad. We're going to do Pass and Play on the iPad.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. I want to get a quick pimp in for my favorite card game currently, which is Gloom, where you have creepy families that you play, and you want to have bad things happen to your family. The person with the most negative points at the end of the game wins. And so you play positive cards on other people. Like, oh, congratulations, you're getting married, plus 10 points. And you play negative cards on you. Oops, I'm so sorry, you died tragically, you're haunted by ghosts. And the goal of it is to make up stories as you go along about why all these things are happening to your character. So there's this really messed up ongoing narrative.
So it's Lemony Snicket in cards.
Yes. And the artwork is very Edward Gorey.
Oh, cool.
Like and the cards are see-through. So you have your family and then you play the modifier cards on top of them. So the plus or minus numbers like will cover up other numbers. And so whatever is currently on top is your total for the card. So it's got a very clever.
And it teaches you how to count cards as you go.
It is so fun. We got slowly more and more tipsy as the night went on last time we played it, and the stories got better and better. But it is not required, the booze.
But it sounds like it would make for a great drinking game.
Absolutely.
There's the creepy Carney family, and then there's like the creepy aristocracy family with the kid, possessed by the devil, and the creepy nanny teaching him about poisons, and like it's the whole family thing. The lurking butler, like it's all.
So
fantastic.
It's definitely one of the quintessential games that you drink while you're playing.
I was going to say, anytime you have to make something up, alcohol should be part of it.
I was going to say, if you're looking for the greatest party game, drinking game, do you worship Cthulhu? This is the greatest freaking party game because you can
something to play with your Christian family, right?
It's about you can yeah, exactly.
Love tentacles.
You can throw this up to about 30 people.
Yeah,
you can play this with about 30 people. So this is like the party game. Basically, you have a moderator who is a village that worships Cthulhu, and what you do is you go around and basically sacrifice everybody.
I'm in.
And it's awesome.
Elder gods, sacrifices, tentacles.
It is. It's great because you have all these people, and you're basically trying to get them to sacrifice.
Nice.
And it's just fun. It takes 5 minutes to play this thing. Oh, there you go.
And then if you're feeling Cthulhu-esque, there's of course Arkham Horror.
If you really
which is
wanna
not about Batman, sadly.
No.
Yeah, this is one that again you need to be willing to get into a lot of rules. You definitely need to have several hours set aside to do it.
But it's worth it.
If you really want just amazing bits.
There you go.
It's a totally cooperative game. The gameplay, it's very random. But if you want just immersive theme, this is it.
Fantastic.
Wow, that went so fast.
Wait.
We are
Keith
so
said Uno, and I want to make sure it gets said. Uno's the best.
Uno. Some of the classics are still some of the best. If you have a favorite game out there, folks, the number is 206-339-TREK. That's 206-339-8735. Use our Slice of Sci-Fi app. Thanks, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this.